Welcome, folks. Welcome back to the stream. I apologize about that. I had to fix this. All right, tonight we got a very, very important stream. It is on Yoshinobu Yamamoto and a possibility and good possibility of him coming to Queens. I mean, it is just insane the last couple of days. The news trickling out on Yamamoto and the possibility of him coming to Queens actually looks like it has a good chance of happening. I couldn't believe it. When I woke up today and I literally started clicking the scroll and clicking Twitter and trying to figure out what the heck is going on with the New York Mets and seeing that Steve Cohen in the last night, it feels like in the middle of the night, underneath all their noses, had a meeting with Yamamoto. I mean, I don't even know how this meeting took place, was scheduled without any reporters knowing at all. And I think that's such a really, really good thing that it's not in the news. It's really not in the media at all. Everybody, this is out of all our noses. Steve Cohen's taking care of business. While the Dodgers are going after Glass now, yeah, it's a nice signing. They gave him way too much money, but I think while they were busy doing that, Steve Cohen, David Stearns, we were setting up and planning to sign most likely one of the best pitching free agents in the last decade. At least the best pitching free agent from Japan that I can remember. Like I mentioned before, you had Tanaka years ago, but I don't remember the ballyhoo and the hype. Of course, Shohei Ohtani, but I don't think him viewed as a pitcher was ever at the level of Yamamoto. I mean, folks, we're gearing for it, and we're looking at, we are signing a guy who's 25 years old, who's not even in his prime, and who has already won 3 Cy Young Awards in the Japanese League. I mean, it is just amazing. It is amazing and astounding to think that he could be heading up our rotation in just very, very shortly. In just a couple days, we could have our answer. And through the tea leaves, I got to give Andy Martino a lot of credit. He's been at the forefront of a lot of this news breaking information. Andy, about a month ago, was very hesitant on Yamamoto and the possibility of him coming to Queens. And ever since a week and a half ago, Andy Martino has been like really a lot more positive in regards to him believing that Yamamoto has a chance of ending up in Queens. And whether you like Andy or not, it seems like he's the most connected Mets reporter in terms of getting news right. So I feel very good about that. And the symbolism of the meeting last night with Steve Cohen and Yamamoto coming into the home of our owner. I mean, think about this. Almost every single player that we really wanted, whether it be Verlander, whether it be Scherzer, whether it be Lindor, when we wanted to sign him to the extension, Steve Cohen pulled out all the same stuff. Come to my house, meet my family, meet the wife, and these guys ended up signing. It seemed like there is some type of appeal of meeting the owner, developing that relationship with the guy on the top. Not a lot of owners do this. I haven't heard Hal Steinbrenner inviting Yamamoto or inviting other free agents to his house. There's a significant difference the way Steve Cohen does business with these free agents. And I've yet to see Steve Cohen lose a mega free agent right now. I really have. A couple of years ago, yes, you could say we lost George Springer and Trevor Bauer, but I don't think that we ever desired these guys like the way we desire Yamamoto. According to Andy Martino, this is the most important thing that I read out of the article that detailed the dinner last night. Andy Martino said that Steve Cohen is willing to match any offer from any team across the league. Steve Cohen saying that tells me he is willing to not only meet the offer, but he will beat every offer. He will certainly beat every offer. And Steve Cohen knows he's worth it because he's selling Yamamoto a chance to be a part of a new culture, be a part of the building of a new brand. And like I said before, that is enticing. With the Yankees, you have their legacy is already built. But with the Mets, it's not about what you've done in the past. It's not about the championship you won in the past. It's about what you're going to do moving forward. And that's what Steve Cohen is trying to sell Yamamoto. Be the face of my team. Be the face of my brand. We will do whatever it takes moving forward. You see what I'm doing with you? I have you in my living room offering you $400 million. That's what I'm going to do every time I see us in need of any type of piece. I will go out. I will do whatever it takes to build this team, to build this brand, and you will be a part of the building of a new brand and a new legacy going forward. Now, I know everybody's like, Yamamoto was concerned about being a part of a team that has like a history, like the Yankees, like the Dodgers. He was concerned about people were saying, you know what, Yamamoto knew when he was a kid, he knew the Dodgers, he knew the Yankees, he didn't know the Mets. But if you really think about this, folks, how many MLB players, MLB superstars, they grew up in Florida, or they grew up in California, and they were fans of their home teams. You know what? If you go to the New York Yankees, go to the New York Mets, you're most likely going to go to the team that offers you the most money. So it's a nice story that the guy grew up like a Yankees fan and he was a Yankees fan as a kid. But if Steve Cohen offers him $50 million more, I think there's no doubt about it that Yamamoto would sign because he's getting more money across town. I've gotten a lot of messages from Yankee fans and Dodgers fans. So that kind of tells me that the news of Steve Cohen and Yamamoto has everybody nervous. Everybody in the industry has predicted Yamamoto to go elsewhere, but I think the tea leaves tell us the truth. Tell us the truth. Believe what you see. Believe what you see. Steve Cohen went to the home of Yamamoto in Japan. Yamamoto goes to the home of Steve Cohen. All the other teams go to LA and they go to the offices to meet with Yamamoto. Yet we have this relationship establishing between Yamamoto and the Mets. It's completely different than what we've seen with the other teams. And now the biggest news that we've heard tonight is we have the fact that Yamamoto has reached out to the New York Yankees and requested a meeting. What does that mean? What does that mean for the Yankees? And what does that mean for the Mets? Okay, I've seen the chatter. I've seen that Yankee fans feel good. Like, oh, yeah, he requested a meeting with us. That must be good. Well, being a Met fan, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good because what's part of the process is I believe they were going to meet with the Yankees later this week. They were going to meet. So there was a schedule to meet with the Yankees. There was a time where Brian Cashman was going to reach back out, make the offer. But for Yamamoto to all of a sudden put a halt in what the Yankees were going to do and kind of alter the process kind of tells me that there is a drastic change in what Yamamoto was going to do. Is he going to accept a Met offer? Or is he going to accept another offer? I don't know. But what I'm surmising is he's going to reject the Yankee offer. And the reason that he's going to meet with Cashman or meet with the Yankees brass is because the Yankees have been scouting him for over a year. They have developed a relationship with Yamamoto for quite some time. So if you're in a relationship with a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you do, is it classier to text or is it classier to meet in person? I find the Yankees right now have courted him for over a year, and I think they're going to fail. I think Yamamoto respectfully is going to decline in person or basically say, this is where I'm standing. I think it's just a cordial, respectful way for him to not move forward with the Yankees. That's my opinion, because it is so odd and so peculiar for him to just all of a sudden request a meeting. And I don't think, and a lot of Yankee fans I've heard, oh, he's requesting a meeting because, other teams offered, he wants more money. No, it's just so odd. If he was just looking for money, he would go through the agent. The agent would get more money. It just seems like it's a thing of respect the Yankees courted us for over a year. Let me show respect by going to the Yankees, appreciating everything they've done for us or done throughout the process, and that's it. Because if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not going to be positive. And everybody who's in here, I apologize. Before, like I mentioned, I was trying a new streaming service and it just completely sucked. So, I just deleted that. And now I just went back to the old one for now until I figure out what I'm doing going forward. All right, so let's get to some comments. So BMW, Andy Martino is a hater. Now, I've heard so many things about Andy Martino in the last couple of years. I've been following Andy for, I don't know, however long Andy's been doing this, 10 years. He's been on SNY forever. So, you hear a bunch of things about Andy, but regardless, he is very tied in with the Mets. And I've heard the Mets hater thing a lot. So if he's reporting positive stuff about the Mets, I find it to be pretty significant considering he doesn't report many positive things. So if a guy is actually reporting positive things, it probably has a decent chance of it being true, a decent chance of it happening. So that's why I'm actually that much more excited that Andy Martino is actually reporting positive news in the Yamamoto Yamamoto watch. And I don't know about how everybody is, but I'm ultra excited. It's 2:30 in the morning, and all I can think about is the New York Mets. Well, also I'm off tomorrow too, so that's another reason why I'm up late. Hopefully, everybody else is having a great night. Hey, Robbie, how's it going? Yes, Yamamoto, when he traveled to the yeah, it definitely felt that the meeting that they had in Japan between Cohen and between Yamamoto's people and Yamamoto, it must have carried a tremendous weight, tremendous weight. And in fact, in the eyes of Andy Martino, it was the determining factor that swayed this whole thing. Andy was saying last month the Mets stood no chance. They stood no chance. It was the Dodgers or the Yankees. Yamamoto wanted to go to a team where he recognized growing up. Like he was, everybody where he came from knew the Yankees, knew the Dodgers, and they didn't know the Mets. But if you watch my videos, we're in New York City. How the hell do you not know the New York Mets? It's a brand problem. Steve Cohen knows the Mets. They have a brand problem, and hopefully they've sold to Yamamoto that he can be a part of the beginning of the building of a new brand. Because the Mets, there's no way that he shouldn't know the New York Mets. The Mets have been around since the early 60s. The Mets should be a significant brand worldwide. It is unacceptable right now for the Mets to not be a worldwide brand. It is unacceptable. The Mets have been around super long time. Hopefully, Steve Cohen could really streamline this process and build us into a brand a lot quicker than probably it would normally take. But starting with a world, that's why I think Yamamoto is so much more valuable to the Mets, because if he signs with the Mets, he gives the Mets that worldwide exposure. He gives the Mets worldwide exposure. Now kids in Japan growing up and who are fans of Yamamoto, they're gonna know the New York Mets. So I think it is super important to the brand for Yamamoto to sign with the New York Mets. It is super important. I think Cohen knows that. He knows how valuable it is. Everybody in here, I appreciate you. As always, if you could hit the like button, it helps out the videos tremendously. Hey, Tim, you make a great point. He grew up as a Dodgers fan, but he is not playing in Ohtani's shadow. Be that as it may, so this is what happened. Last week, Dodgers have a meeting with Ohtani. I'm sorry. Dodgers have a meeting with Yamamoto. So Yamamoto walks into the room in the Dodgers, wherever he met with. He sees Mookie Betts. He sees Freddie Freeman. He sees Shohei Ohtani. And he sees all these guys. And you make a great point. Are you going to want to be in the shadow of all these future Hall of Famers, the legend of Ohtani? I think that you're going to be part of already a good group. So if you win with that team, how much of a difference do you really make? The Dodgers just won in 2020. The Yankees have won 20, however many times they won in their past, 27, 28 times. If you win with the Yankees, if you win with the Dodgers, it means really squat. They've won so many times without you. If you want to make a difference, if you want to be remembered for being that difference maker, for being a legendary player, you're gonna go to the New York Mets, and you're still gonna be in the big city. You're still gonna make more money. You're still gonna be a part of something so big, so great. I see something so intriguing, so different about him signing with the Mets. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I say, you know what? It makes sense. Last week I wasn't like this. Last week I was saying, oh, why would he go with the Mets? You know, the Dodgers have Ohtani and Betts. The Yankees have Judge and Soto. But the more and more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? There are other factors in play right now. There are definitely other factors in play. And maybe it's going to be a scenario like a couple years ago with the Nets and the Knicks. Everybody thought that the Knicks were going to sign Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And then they went to the Nets because, I don't know, they just went to the different organization. It might be the same thing with the Mets. Everybody's thinking he's going to go to the Yankees, the Dodgers. Hopefully, and with our benefits, he goes to the Mets because the Mets can offer him a lot of the same benefits plus more. Like, if you really think about it, he's chasing legacy. He's chasing an older legacy. You know, the fact that he wants to go to the Yankees because they won in the past. Who cares about the past? What are you going to do for me in the future? Win it. And he knows that Steve Cohen has he has some of the most resources out of any owner in the entire league. He knows Cohen is going to keep spending money. He knows Cohen's going to invest. The franchise is going to invest in scouting, bettering the team, international scouting. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I think it just makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right, Robbie. So we're going to go to your comment. So if Cohen says he'll match the offer and more, he's the richest in the MLB. Pitcher goes to Cohen's home. Unless it's fake news, it's only a matter of time. Yeah, and like I said, that was the most significant comment that came from the comments of Andy Martino. The fact that Cohen physically said while he was in the home, while they were together having dinner, he told Yamamoto, I will match any offer. I will match any offer. So that's number one and very significant. Number two, and this has a lot of people upset because it hasn't happened. The New York Mets didn't make Yamamoto an offer, did not make Yamamoto a formal offer. There were no offers talked about. Has Yamamoto received offers? Yes, Yamamoto has received a bevy of offers of over $300 million from several big market teams. But very important, he did not receive any offers from our New York Mets. Why is that? My estimation is Steve Cohen went to Yamamoto saying, go get the best offer. I'll beat it. I'm not going to make you an offer right now because I'm going to beat your highest offer. That's what it is. So if he gets a legitimate offer from the Yankees, maybe that's what Yamamoto is relaying to the Yankees today. Well, you know, maybe the Yankees said our best offer is 305. Well, you're out because Steve Cohen's going to massacre that offer. I think it is so super significant. Steve Cohen has geniusly put himself in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, he hasn't put an offer out there for another team to beat, for another team to top. So essentially, he can't really be used as leverage because he's saying, I will only beat an official offer. So Steve Cohen has put himself in a position where he's not going to be used as leverage and he's going to have the final say. I think it's a stroke of genius. Steve Cohen, he didn't make $20 billion, like that. This guy knows how to conduct business in a way where he's going to be more successful than the next guy. So that's why I'm ultra confident in the way Steve Cohen has handled these free agents in the past. In my eyes, he hasn't failed. He really hasn't failed. Hey, Yuki, how's it going? Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You know that. Hopefully, you're having a great night. All right, so Tim, you're right. The number 18 they had reserved for this guy. When the Yankees want somebody, they usually get it. When you have Tanaka, Matsui in the meeting, I don't know. First of all, I don't know if Tanaka and Matsui were in the meeting. I thought I heard that was a rumor that they were in the meeting, and then I heard that it was confirmed that they weren't in the meeting. But irregardless, whether they were in the meeting or not, I don't think that's going to sway him. I don't think it's going to sway him that, hey, Tanaka was a Yankee 10 years ago. Matsui was a Yankee 20 years ago. Cohen is selling him the future. The future. And I think that if he gets into Yamamoto's head that the future is more important than the past, I think that is the way that we get this guy. We just got to sell him on the future. It's all about the future. Who gives a crap about the past? Especially the recent past. The Yankees recently haven't won anything. If you're going to look at recency, the Dodgers would stand a lot better chance than the Yankees in terms of being successful. All right. Girl, this is from I believe Girls Are Nuts. The Yankees are also having him over and doing everything the Mets are. But and to me, if you're going to imitate and you're going to copy, and do something behind somebody else, I think it means a lot less. For Cohen to do things and be the leader and to invite players over his house and to go to Japan, it makes no difference if another team does it. It's all about doing something unique and special and starting that relationship. I think it's just right now it's a formality. It's a formality that he going to see the Yankees, and I wholeheartedly believe that, like I said, if you're in a relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, you're not going to enter a relationship through text. You're going to meet them face to face. I wholeheartedly believe that he's telling the Yankees, I have met somebody else. I am happy. This is going to be my decision going forward. Yes, we have known each other for a year and a half. I thank you for everything, but it doesn't seem normal. It's not normal for a guy to call his own meeting. If he signed with the Yankees, that'd be one thing. But if he just had a meeting with them like he's doing, it just really means nothing good for the Yankees. It doesn't. It doesn't. So Met fans, feel positive about that. I think it's between right now the Mets and the Dodgers. The Mets and the Dodgers. I got to see what happens with the Dodgers, but I really think right now it's with the Mets and the Dodgers. Yuki, you ask a very good question. What score would you give the Mets offseason moves if we get Yamamoto and nothing more? So right now, if I had to score the Mets offseason right now out of 10, right? Just out of 10. Um, well, or if you want to give him a letter score, right now I give him an F plus. So an F plus, and a 1 out of 10. Right now, in terms of building our team to be better in 2024, I don't know what they've done to make our team better. They've made these really no name move. So if they got Yamamoto and they did nothing else and got Yamamoto, I gotta give them credit. So they would fall somewhere in the B range because Yamamoto is one of the most sought after free agents in a very long time. So just by that alone, they have to elevate from an F plus to somewhere in the B range because that would mean they've got the ace. That would mean they have a number 2 in their rotation. Um, they have Severino. So at least I would know that they have a 1-2 punch. So that's where they would get to the B, but there's still so much more for the Mets to do. Still really a whole crap load of work. In fact, when I look at the fact that the Mets have already 35, 36 people out of the 40 man roster, all those spots filled up, it really makes my head spin because I'm like, we still need outfield help. We still need 2 or 3 pitchers. We still need another proven relief pitcher. We still need a DH. I'm like, we still need so many damn things to be successful. Robbie, no, nice point. Sanga is a good reference. Yeah, I've heard that they've had they definitely know each other. I'm not sure how much of friendship they are, but in terms of knowing each other, it really can't hurt. And you know what would also can't hurt? The fact that Sanga came over here and was such a big success. It really was. And it really's got to help Yamamoto out because Sanga wasn't anywhere near the pitcher Yamamoto was. And if Sanga was that successful and knowing the type of pitcher he was, that's probably another reason why Yamamoto's market is so insane. They automatically figure Yamamoto was better than Sanga in Japan, and Sanga came over here and did well. So Yamamoto's got to be a lot better than Sanga, and Sanga had like a 2.9 something earner average. So Sanga definitely helped out Yamamoto with the money and making Yamamoto look good. So, Tim, you're right. My insider says Yankees offer will come out sometime today. Yamamoto went back to them to see if the Yankees will match. I'm hearing 9 years, 330, opt out after 5. All right. Well, I mean, we got to see if your insider is right. It seems like that's right around the Garrett Cole offer. I think he got like 9 years, 336 around there. So they literally would be paying him the same amount as Cole. If they had the opt out after year 5, that means that he would be entering free agency in his age 30 season. So that seems feasible. That seems like I'm wondering in that situation, if it's 9 years, 335, would they front load the contract? Meaning, would they pay him more in the first 5 years, or would they have the same set amount? Meaning, he'd be making $36 million every year. That would be a way to kind of like distinguish yourself. Let's say if you're the New York Mets, if you want to distinguish yourself against the Yankees, paying $50 million for 5 years, or $45 million for 5 years. That's how you differentiate an offer. I don't know. All I know is that the Mets have to do everything known to man to make sure that they get Yamamoto. Yes, the Yankees are a juggernaut in terms of history, in terms of legacy. They've won more championships than any other team. So Steve Cohen has to pull out every trick in his bag or every single sales tactic, everything he could do to get Yamamoto to sign on the dotted line, because Yamamoto in Queens means so much more than Yamamoto in LA and Yamamoto in the Bronx. Like I mentioned, the Yankees, they already have Garrett Cole. The Dodgers have Bueller, and they have a couple young, promising pitchers. We don't have any young, promising pitchers coming up that could be a number one or two. We don't. We have guys who can maybe slot in as a three, Blake Tidwell, a Mike Vassell, guys like that. But like, we don't really have aces in our minor league system, at least none that are ready right now. Okay, let's look at Yuki, NYC and LA are god awful places, homeless, high taxes, high crime. Do you feel these factors hurt big market teams to acquire Yamamoto? Well, I mean, the New York Yankees and the Dodgers, those are the two front runners, right? I do think there is and I'm not talking about Yamamoto, but I think in the case of other free agents, they do take that into account. If they want to move their family over, if maybe they more used to living in a rural country area and they don't really know the big city, that could be a problem. But that's where Steve Cohen and whoever's in charge of dealing with these free agents has to say, okay, we are a big city, but you don't have to live in a big city. There's other places you could live. You could live in Connecticut. You could live in Long Island. You could live places, probably New Jersey has spots that are more rural. There are places around the city where guys can move and they don't have to deal with the big city environment. It's not that far. If you want to go to Connecticut or Long Island, it's still not far from the stadium. You could go to City Field, live in Suffolk County in Long Island, and get there in like 40 minutes. So there are options if you don't want that big city feel. And this is with the guys, this is with the guys, whether you're a general manager, whether you're a president, whether you're a liaison, you have to be able to convey all this information and alleviate any concern. If you're Yamamoto, you're going to have a list. You got to make sure you are aware of every single damn concern Yamamoto has. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of concerns that Yamamoto has. But it's the Mets' job, and it's the job of people in the front office to know what his concerns are and to make sure that we alleviate all of those concerns. Now, you mentioned high taxes. High taxes might be the only thing that you can't really do much about. Homeless, yes, you can. Homeless and other things, yeah, you can try to avoid. You can move to good areas, where crime is not prevalent. But taxes, that's probably going to be the biggest hurdle. But then that's when you got to sell the guy where he's going to be part of the brand, where he's going to make money in commercials, he's going to make money in marketing, he's going to make money in other ways that he would not make elsewhere. So there are answers to every question, there are answers to every problem. All right, I'm literally, anybody who dropped a comment, feel free to drop a comment. I'm gonna read everybody's comment. All right, so Noah's, where to? I hear Earth is a horrible place, but here we are. Yeah, we're all sharing the same planet. Okay, Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn. I hope they flew Yamamoto over City Field with the scoreboard on while he was in his way via helicopter to Uncle Stevie's house in Connecticut. Well, you know what? That would be a nice touch. I mean, having the guy drift over City Field. Although, to be honest with you, if he's flying over City Field, and everybody who's familiar with Flushing knows this, there aren't pretty spots in Flushing. You got Flushing Bay over there. It's not the prettiest sight, So, I don't know if that was the strategy. He might be better just going to the stadium and seeing himself on the scoreboard. All right, so this is from Life Journey. You think the Mets will go over 400 million? Okay, so thinking about this logically, he's already received multiple offers just over 300 million. Tim, our man Tim, says that the Yankees are going to offer him a contract of around 330 million. So therefore, it's at least got to go over 350. It's at least going over 350. So if the Yankees offer 330 and the Mets go to 350, will the Yankees counter? And so it depends how many teams counter, and do I think that's going to happen? So honestly, I think it can touch 400. I think it can touch 400 because I think when Steve Cohen makes his 350 offer, I think between LA and the Yankees, and I would probably count on the Yankees countering more. I just think financially the Dodgers are in a funny position. They're so close to the Steve Cohen 297 luxury tax dollar number where I think that they might hesitate to make some type of crazy offer. So I'm going to guess that it's going to be a little under 400 million, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes over 400. It's interesting. Here's the interesting thing. Would I rather give Yamamoto 400 or would I give Jordan Montgomery 200? And if I had that choice, I would choose giving Yamamoto 400 every day of the week. Because Jordan Montgomery, as nice of a pitcher as he is, he's a number 3 on a good day and a number 4 every other day. He had a good run last year with Texas and into the postseason, but he's not worth $200 million. He doesn't have dominant stuff. He's got nice stuff. Okay. These are the 3 players the next 3 years that have a combination of being young, 25 or younger, and potentially franchise changing that we should jump to. Soto, Roki Sasaki, and Munetaka Murakami. And honestly, the last guy, I apologize, I don't know anything about. Soto, obviously, we all know Soto. I think that if it's somehow, I really feel like he's going to be a Met next year. I really do. I hope the Yankees are going to treat him right. Soto will pick out his house this year. We'll get to see how he gets along in New York and how he adjusts. And then I do feel that Soto has loved coming to Queens in the past. So I'm excited to see what happens next year. But I feel that this year is going to be our chance, our ability to show any other impending free agents how we develop and how we improve. This year has to be transformational. It's so significant this year, and that's why I feel getting Yamamoto is super important at this time in our development. As a franchise, as a brand, it is super, super important. Roki Sasaki, yeah, I read up a little bit about him. He's a 22-year-old pitcher in Japan, and he's supposed to have electric stuff. And some say his stuff is more electric than Yamamoto. Like I said, he's 22. He's a guy that's a phenom as well. And it's in a look and the thought process on him is he's going to be posted next year. Yeah, explosive. So you make a good point that these people are so rich that they don't have to deal with the negative stuff that comes with New York or California. You know what? It's kind of true. I mean, if you're making that much money, if you're making, Tani's making 700 million, Yamamoto just coming in the United States is going to be thrown a $350 million contract. I don't think he's going to care that there's pollution 45 minutes away, or there's a crime happening. I mean, you could just put yourself in a bubble. You really can. You buy a nice mansion, helicopter, take a train, or not a train, probably take a limo to the stadium. You're just going to be in your own world. King Stu, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate that you're here. So you're right. Mets need more than Yamamoto. They need 2 good starters and 2 good power hitters. This team is weak on offense, and I will have to come back from behind. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We need so much. We absolutely need way more than Yamamoto, and I think Stearns knows that. It just feels like we need this guy to sign with us to kind of jumpstart this offseason. Like, I don't want to say that our other moves hinge on Yamamoto, but I've said in the past where the Mets could either sign Yamamoto, and that would mean they're going to be more aggressive this year, or they could go in a completely different path. And I've said in the past, if they go down that plan B route, that they would be less aggressive and more inclined to play the young guys, and more inclined to possibly trade their older guys for prospects. Like you have option A, be aggressive, sign your ace, then sign other guys to possibly win now in the future. Or option B could be totally different. I mean, obviously, we don't know. We have to kind of wait to see what happens. But nonetheless, it's exciting. I mean, like it's 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning. What else do we really have to be excited about? I mean, you got Yamamoto, a legendary pitcher in Japan, possibly going to be able to pitch for our team in Queens next year. I mean, that is super, super exciting. And I'm not going to pretend to have watched or scouted the guy. I've seen highlights, but on highlights, they always show his best stuff. But the guy looks filthy, and I just can't wait to go to a game, and I can't wait to see him pitch in Queen. I really can't. And even to see him sit on the bench next to Sanga, and I don't know. I like seeing that stuff. Game. Hey, what's going on, man? So you're right. If he goes to the Mets, will that mean no more merengue in the clubhouse and only K-pop will be played? Oh man, that's funny. Probably depends on which side of the clubhouse you're on. you know, that's what it is. Yeah, if you're on Sanga's side, I mean, everybody likes different music, so I'm pretty sure that it just really depends. But good question. That's a good 3 o'clock in the morning question. Oh wow. Okay, so Murakami is a 22-year-old slugger who hits average of 270, 42 home runs, 110 RBIs the past 3 years. Wow. Wow. So I'm assuming he's going to be posted next year. Oh yeah, I gotta look at this guy. Wow, I mean that's amazing. I got to do a little more research about this guy. But I mean, if you really think about it, these foreign leagues like Japan and the KBO, it's actually amazing how we can really better our team by signing these guys because we don't I, obviously. Yeah, I really just find it amazing. And the Yankees, I'm just thinking about this. The Yankees really have been the team who I felt have taken advantage of this route the best. Obviously, they've gotten Matsui and Tanaka, and there've been other guys who have come over. They just haven't been that successful. Sanga, Mets, that was our number one success. I think probably our biggest bust was 20 years ago. Whoever remembers, we signed Kaz Matsui, the second baseman. He was supposed to be a slugging shortstop, and that was a huge bust. So Sanga is probably going to be our biggest success. Hopefully, our biggest success of last year. Yamamoto will be a biggest success of this year. Yeah, yeah, St. Lucie, St. Lu- St. Lucie should be popping, and I'm in Florida right now, so definitely I'm gonna try to stop by and go to some spring training games. Yeah, explosive. If you remember Kaz Matsui, I think he hit a leadoff home run, and everybody was really excited. His first at bat, he hits a home run. I believe it was to center field. So everybody's like, "Oh my God, this guy's gonna be a phenom." But then it just went downhill after there. All right, let's see here. Uh, I was trying to figure out, what would be the biggest or the best MLB comparison to Yamamoto? I was looking at an article where they're comparing the NPB in terms of hitters and comparing it to the MLB. So they say that the NPB varies greatly because the hitters are a lot less accomplished. Like there's a lot less power hitters in the NPB. They say the power isn't quite the same. That but on the same token, the MPB may not have as many power hitters, so that means the pitcher's ERA are going to be a bit lower. But the MPB is considered the second best league besides Major League Baseball. And the ball they use is a bit different. They pitch with a pre-tack ball that can help command and spin. Okay, so I'm reading something. They actually this company they went out and when Yamamoto was pitching in the World Baseball Classic, when everything was the same, so that means he was pitching with the same ball, everything was the same with everybody. So they looked at data that on Yamamoto's pitching. So the data came right out. It said that Yamamoto's pitches topped out at 99 miles per hour. His four seam fastball sat at 95 in a 52 pitch WC appearance. It had great rise from a low release point. So he has a low release point and his pitches tend to rise. Wow. So the guy basically tops out at 99, so about 100 miles per hour, and his four seam fastball is 95. So it's saying the physical characteristics of the fastballs he threw in the WBC velocity, release point, spin rate, spin axis, and movement would make this a 92nd percentile fastball among starting pitchers right now. So his fastball, according to this scout, would rank in the 92nd percentile. Yamamoto has a little less ride, a little more tail, and a little bit less velo than Kodai Sanga, but their fastballs are good comp. So this scout compares Yamamoto's fastball to Sanga, but actually says that Sanga's fastball is a little faster, and it says that Kevin Gausman, although 4 inches taller, his fastball has similar movement and similar velocity. So they compare the speed of his fastball to Kodai Sanga, but the movement of his fastball to Kevin Gausman. To prediction, Yamamoto will have a top 20 four-seam fastball in MLB. The pitch is so nasty. It has 20 inches of drop off the fastball and comes in only 5 miles an hour slower, meaning that it looks a lot like a fastball until the batters swing double digit. Oh, wow. I apologize. So that's saying his splitter is nasty. They said that Yamamoto's splitter has more drop, the same horizontal movement, and 5 miles per hour more velocity than Gosman's splitter. And Gosman, just for all of you who don't know, Gosman is supposed to have a nasty splitter, like a top splitter in the league. Wow, this is actually significant. According to StatCast, none of the splitters thrown by anyone had as much drop as Yamamoto's splitter, 35 inches on average. Prediction. So this scout predicts Yamamoto will have the best split finger among all MLB starters. So based on their evaluation, he's going to be nasty and that he's going to have the best. So he has a bit of a funky release. This curve features an elite spin and whopping 65-inch drop. So his curve has elite spin and whopping 65-inch drop, along with a 77 mile per hour release speed. And that they say that his curveball is vicious. One of the most unique curveball releases out there. According to StatCast, no pitcher threw a curveball that had at least a 65-inch drop and went as fast on average as Yamamoto's curveball. Wow, that's amazing. So they're saying that his drop for 77 miles per hour, I'm sorry, his curveball has the most drop at that speed. So he throws a very fast curveball with amazing drop. And they're saying Yamamoto's curveball is in the 91st percentile in a virtual tie with Seth Lugo and Merrill Kelly. By movement and velocity, the best comparison would be lefty curveballs, Max Fried and Chris Bassett. So the prediction on Yamamoto's curveball is that it will be elite. Wow, this article is like really good. It came out 5 days ago. It's the athletic. It's the scouting report on Yamamoto. Who are his closest MLB comps? So last year they said Yamamoto. So Yamamoto apparently gives up no home runs. Last year Yamamoto gave up 1/10 of a homer per 9 innings. Listen to that, 1/10 of a homer. So not one homers per 9 innings, 1/10 of a homer per 9 innings. So you divide that one home run by 10, and that's how many home runs he's given it per 9 innings, which is an absurd number. The best qualified season in that stat in MLB since free agency began was from Nolan Ryan in 1981 when he gave up 0.12 homers per nine. Greg Maddux gave up 0.18 homers per nine in the shortened 1994 season. The best this century was Garrett Richards with the 0.27 home runs per nine in 2014. Given how many more power hitters there are here than in Japan, it's a good idea to focus on strikeouts minus walks to get a sense of a talent of the pitcher. Well, anybody who wants to look at this article, I mean, this is an amazing article. They just go really in depth in terms of a scouting report. It just goes details every single pitch Yamamoto has, who the MLB comparisons. Like I said, this article is on the Athletic, and the title is "Scouting Yoshinobu Yamamoto," and it says who are his closest MLB comps. Yeah, hey, what's up, Jay? Yeah, still up. We're trying to figure out what's going on with this Yamamoto guy. Is Yamamoto going to sign in Queens? Is he going to go to the Bronx? Is he going to go to LA? What the heck is going on? What's going on with the second meeting with the Yankees? Does he want to tell him that, hey, I'm going to sign elsewhere, or is he going to try to figure something out with the Yankees? I know LA, I believe they have a meeting going forward, but I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff to try to figure out. Hey, Life Journey. According to Fangraph, the Yamamoto signing will take both the Yankees and the Mets above 300 million CBT threshold. If the Dodgers sign him, they would be just under 300 million. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about the Dodgers. Everyone, the Steve Cohen luxury tax threshold this year is 297 million, right? So if the Mets and the Yankees sign him, especially the Mets are going to be well over 300 million. And if everybody remembers, Steve Cohen made this proclamation. He said, if we're going to go over the luxury tax, we're going to go well over. Because to penalize your team, to lose draft picks, to lose draft positioning, to lose international money, and to just go over the 297 by a couple million doesn't really make sense. That's why I was figuring the Dodgers, it would be a little tougher pill for them to swallow because their team is virtually almost all set. So they would literally just be going over the 297. So I was kind of figuring that it possibly makes financial sense more for the Yankees and Mets to do it because they would be going well over the 297 threshold. Yeah, I didn't see that. So someone said they saw an X tweet of Yamamoto with a Yankee hat on. I don't know. Was it recent? Was it a couple years ago? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the Yankees have been scouting Yamamoto for over a year now. I'm pretty sure they gave him a Yankee hat and stuff like that. Let's be honest here. The Yankees have clearly tried to develop a relationship with Yamamoto. They've sent Cashman to Japan several times to meet with the guy. That's why I figure if Yamamoto's not going to go with the Yankees, he's going to do the respectful thing and saying, you know what, guys, I know you want to make me an offer next week. And this is why I think that it's good news for the Mets. Yamamoto, out of respect, he knows the Yankees are working on an offer. They're doing all this work to try to sign the guy. Yamamoto in his head is thinking, I don't want to sign with the Yankees, but they've done a lot for me. Let me call a meeting, an emergency meeting right now. I don't want them to waste any more time on me. They could go after other free agents. I'm going to tell them right to their faces, I'm not going to sign with them. That to me is the most logical response because if he was intending to sign with the Yankees, then he would go through his agent. We're signing. Why rush meeting? But I think it's more of a respectful thing, and it's more of a thing like, hey guys, I think it's better go pursue another another route. Um, Gabe, so you're right. Will we ever see a high draft pick again? Well, I mean, they have the draft lottery now in baseball. I think it's our chances are going to be slim, especially if we're on if our wins find us in the middle, if the middle of the pack, it's going to be a lot hard for us to finish on the top of the draft. Plus the fact that I'm pretty sure you're insinuating we're going to be over 297 all the time. We're going to be over the Steve Cohen luxury tax. So that being said, I don't think we're going to have a high draft pick in the next decade or so. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I've heard Sanga has been instrumental in helping the Yamamoto scouting stuff, and that's a good thing. Sanga definitely should. The Mets need support. Sanga signed a 5-year contract. I believe at least it's 3 years, but Sanga seems like a pretty loyal guy. He did well with the Mets last year. So, it only makes sense that he try to get one of his fellow countrymen over to solidify our rotation. But very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Yeah, folks. I just want to let everybody know I'm gonna get ready. Gotta go to bed soon. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up. But 3:15 in the morning. I appreciate everybody being here. I really do. Gonna start making some. Probably start working on videos tomorrow. I'm off, so maybe we'll do a live stream. Whoever's around, look for that. Check it out. Again, I thank everybody who drops comments, who checks out the channel. I consider us all a family here. So I will talk to everybody soon. Hopefully, we'll have a good night and we have some good news coming up. I can't wait to see what happens. At least, yeah, yep. Love you guys too. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.